A man in his 30s sits alone in a dimly lit room, staring at his phone. Congratulations! Your startup has been acquired for $50 million. The man's expression shifts from shock to elation, then to confusion. Holy, now what? Welcome to What to Do If You're Suddenly Rich. I'm not here to coddle you or tell you how great you are. If you've stumbled into wealth, you're about to face challenges that will make or break you. Most people who get rich quick end up broke within a few years. Why? Because they're weak. They lack discipline. They make stupid decisions. But you're not going to be one of those idiots, are you? Let's start with a story. A cautionary tale about a man who had it all and lost it faster than you can say bankruptcy. Meet John. John was a regular guy, working a 9-to-5, dreaming of hitting it big. Then one day it happened. His app went viral, and a tech giant swooped in with a $10 million buyout offer. John thought he'd made it. He was on top of the world. But here's where it gets interesting. John had a secret, a dark past that would come back to haunt him. You see, John had always been a gambler. He'd kept it under control when he was broke, but now, with millions in the bank, the temptation was too much. Within 6 months, John had blown through half his fortune in high-stakes poker games. His wife left him, taking their kids. His friends, the ones who'd stuck by him when he was nobody, couldn't stand to be around him anymore. But John's story doesn't end there. Oh no, it gets worse. In a desperate attempt to win back his losses, John invested everything he had left in a cryptocurrency he'd heard about from a friend. You can guess what happened next. The crypto turned out to be a scam, and John lost everything. Last I heard, John was living in his car, working odd jobs to scrape by. Now you might be thinking, that won't happen to me, I'm smarter than that. But are you? Really? The truth is, sudden wealth doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't make you a better person. All it does is amplify who you already are. If you're an idiot with $1,000, you'll be an even bigger idiot with $1 million. So, what should you do if you suddenly find yourself with more money than you know what to do with? Let's break it down. 1. Develop a success mindset and master your goals. Before you even think about what to do with your money, you need to get your head straight. And I'm not talking about some feel-good, positive thinking bullshit. I'm talking about hardcore mental toughness. Brian Tracy, one of the world's leading experts on success psychology, has a system for this. It's not easy, but nothing worth doing ever is. First, you need to set clear, specific goals. Not vague wishes like, I want to be happy, or I want to be successful. I'm talking about concrete, measurable objectives. I want to double my net worth in 5 years, or I want to start 3 profitable businesses by 2030. Next, you need to write these goals down. Why? Because the act of writing imprints these goals in your subconscious mind. It makes them real. Then you need to create a detailed plan for achieving each goal. Break it down into steps. What do you need to do daily, weekly, monthly to make it happen? Finally, and this is the part most people skip, you need to take immediate action. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. Why is this so important? Because success isn't about luck. It's not about circumstances. It's about mindset and action. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah won $5 million in the lottery. Unlike most lottery winners, Sarah didn't go on a spending spree. Instead, she spent the first month after her win studying successful people. She read every book she could get her hands on, attended seminars, and even hired a personal coach. Sarah set a goal to turn her $5 million into $50 million within 10 years. She wrote it down, created a detailed plan, and took immediate action. She invested in her education, started multiple businesses, and made strategic investments. 10 years later, Sarah's net worth? $78 million. But what happens if you don't do this? Well, just look at John. He had no clear goals, no plan, and no mental discipline. He acted on impulse and emotion, and now he's broke. If you want to learn more about Brian Tracy's system for mastering your goals, click the link in the description. It could be the most important click of your life. 2. Shut your mouth. The second thing you need to do if you suddenly become rich. Keep it to yourself. I don't care how much you want to brag. I don't care how much you want to rub it in your ex's face. Shut your mouth. Why? Because the moment people know you're rich, everything changes. Friends will come out of the woodwork asking for loans. Family members you haven't spoken to in years will suddenly want to reconnect. And every con artist within a 100-mile radius will have you in their sights. Take the case of Jack Whitaker. In 2002, Jack won a $314 million Powerball jackpot. Instead of keeping quiet, he announced his win to the world. What followed was a nightmare. Jack was robbed multiple times. He was sued by countless people. His granddaughter, who he'd given large sums of money to, died of a drug overdose. By 2007, Jack said he wished he'd torn up the ticket. On the flip side, consider the story of the secret millionaires of Amesbury, Massachusetts. This couple won a $2.7 million lottery jackpot but told no one. They continued to live modestly, quietly investing their winnings. When they died, they left $8 million to their local library and hospital, shocking their entire community. The lesson? Silence is golden. And in this case, it might just save your life. 3. Assemble your team. You might think you're smart enough to handle your newfound wealth on your own. You're not. You need a team of professionals to help you navigate the complex world of wealth management. At a minimum, you need a certified public accountant, CPA, a financial advisor, an estate planning attorney. Why? Because the rules are different when you're rich. Tax laws become more complex. Investment opportunities multiply. And if you don't have a solid estate plan, the government will take a huge chunk of your wealth when you die. Take the case of Prince. When the music legend died in 2016, he had no will, no estate plan. The result? Years of legal battles and a tax bill that ate up nearly half of his $200 million estate. On the other hand, look at Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. Buffett has a team of advisors that help him make smart financial decisions. That's why he's still rich, while countless others have lost it all. Don't be a Prince. Be a Buffett. 4. Create a budget. Yes, even if you're rich. Just because you have money doesn't mean you can spend it recklessly. In fact, the more money you have, the more important budgeting becomes. Create a detailed budget that accounts for every dollar. And stick to it. No exceptions. This might seem unnecessary when you're sitting on millions, but trust me, it's crucial. Just ask Johnny Depp. The actor earned over $650 million in his career. But poor budgeting and reckless spending left him on the brink of financial ruin. Contrast that with rapper Jay-Z. Despite his lavish lifestyle, Jay-Z is known for his meticulous budgeting. He tracks every expense, no matter how small. The result? A net worth of over $1 billion. Remember, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. 5. Get your confidence up. You might think you're confident because you've got money in the bank. But true confidence goes deeper than that. It's about believing in yourself, your abilities, and your vision, even when the odds are stacked against you. High achievers aren't just lucky or talented. They're confident. They believe in themselves when no one else does. They push forward when others give up. They take risks that would make most people's knees shake. But here's the thing. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a muscle you need to exercise every day. World-renowned business coach and best-selling author Brian Tracy has developed a free confidence assessment that can help you gauge where you stand. It's not about stroking your ego. It's about honest self-evaluation, because you can't improve what you don't measure. I invite you to take this assessment. Click the link in the description to access Brian Tracy's self-confidence assessment. It might just be the wake-up call you need to start building the confidence required for true success. 6. Invest wisely. Now that you're rich, everyone's going to have an amazing investment opportunity for you. Most of these will be garbage. Some will be outright scams. Your job is to ignore the noise and invest wisely. That means diversifying your portfolio across different asset classes. Stocks, bonds, real estate, maybe some alternative investments if you're feeling adventurous. But here's the key. Don't invest in anything you don't understand. And don't put all your eggs in one basket. Look at the story of Mark Cuban. When he sold his company Broadcast.com to Yahoo for $5.7 billion, he didn't go wild with risky investments. Instead, he put a large portion of his wealth into boring old municipal bonds. Why? Because he understood the importance of capital preservation. On the flip side, there's Eike Batista, once the 8th richest person in the world. Batista lost nearly all of his $30 billion fortune by over-investing in his own companies and making risky bets on the oil industry. The lesson? Slow and steady wins the race. Boring is beautiful when it comes to investing. 7. Give back, but do it smart. Philanthropy isn't just for the likes of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. If you're suddenly rich, you have an opportunity, and I'd argue, a responsibility to give back. But here's the thing. Giving away money effectively is harder than you might think. You need to do your research, find causes that align with your values, and make sure your donations are actually making a difference. Take the case of Chuck Feeney. This billionaire gave away his entire $8 billion fortune to various causes. But he didn't just write checks. He spent years studying the most effective ways to give, often donating anonymously to avoid the spotlight. Compare that to some celebrities who make big, flashy donations for the PR, without considering the long-term impact of their giving. Smart philanthropy can change the world. Dumb philanthropy is just a waste of money. 8. Plan for the future. Finally, you need to think long-term. Your sudden wealth might seem infinite now, but trust me, it's not. You need to plan for the future. That means setting up trusts for your kids or grandkids. It means having a solid retirement plan. It means thinking about your legacy. Look at the Vanderbilt family. Once the wealthiest family in America, they lost their entire fortune within a few generations because of poor planning and reckless spending. On the other hand, the Rockefeller family has maintained their wealth for over a century through careful planning and a focus on long-term wealth preservation. Which family do you want to be? So what are you going to do now that you're rich? I'm going to do it right. Remember, sudden wealth is a responsibility, not just a privilege. It's a test of your character, your discipline, and your wisdom. Most people fail this test. But you're not most people, are you? Now I've got one more tip for you. One that could change your life if you're willing to put in the work. Have you ever thought about writing a book? Maybe sharing your story, your expertise, or your ideas with the world. It's not just about ego. A book can open doors you never knew existed. It can establish you as an authority in your field. It can create new income streams and business opportunities. But writing a book isn't easy. That's why best-selling author Brian Tracy, who's written over 80 books, is offering a free training webinar. 5 steps to planning and publishing a best-selling book. In this webinar, you'll learn how to choose a winning topic that people actually want to read. The secrets to writing your book quickly and efficiently. Strategies for marketing your book and becoming a best-selling author. This isn't some fluffy motivational seminar. It's practical, actionable advice from someone who's been there and done it 80 times over. If you're serious about taking your success to the next level, click the link in the description to register for this free webinar. It could be the first step towards adding best-selling author to your list of achievements. Remember, knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is success. Don't just watch this video and nod along. Take action. Click those links. Do the work. Your future self will thank you. This is What to Do If You're Suddenly Rich, signing off. Now get to work.